Hello. Hey everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Rob from Automatic. I'll be your MC for track 3 this afternoon. We are going to do a few rounds of lightning talks, starting with Gabby. Gabby is an entrepreneur and a consultant specialized in all things SEO. And SEO is pretty much like a house of cards, right? Like it takes a lot of work, but if you mess one thing up, everything falls apart. So let's see if Gabby can help us make fewer of these mistakes. Let's hear it for Gabby, everyone.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Okay, let's try this. Yeah. So my name is Gabby. I'm an SEO consultant based here in Switzerland. I mainly do technical SEO and content strategy. And today I'm ranking the worst SEO mistakes I've seen on WordPress. So you probably notice SEO isn't just green smiley faces on Yoast, but I thought I'd include it anyway. If you don't speak SEO, it can get overwhelming pretty quickly, especially in the technical sphere. So if you hear all that lingo, then you might be going down like Mario. And today we're going to counter that with proper processes, SEO checklists, and talking to your SEO. So I'm going to start with number 4, which is speed. Page speed is important. It makes for a great UX. It decreases bounce rate. It boosts positive user signals in general, which can be a signal for ranking or re-ranking for some search engines. So you should care about page speed. And not discard it that easily just if a page loads fast in your own browser. So you can test page speed in Chrome, Google Lighthouse. You can test it on this website. You can also look at Core Web Vitals, which is the actual field data for the page speeds, for example, in Search Console, where you see a subset of URLs. And if you're interested in the actual metrics, then you can go to this website, all leading me to why does it matter for WordPress. Just the fact that some editors are a bit more bloated than others. And you might not even need them for the specific tasks that you want, and you might compromise your page speed because of it. So what can you do, or what can be done? This is my friend Ayman, and he ditched a visual editor and installed the GeneratePress lightweight theme, and that was all that he did to move LCP, so one of the metrics for Core Web Vitals, from 33% to 67% in the green realm. And he also says that by doing that, he got a lot more crawling requests from Googlebot and even more returning users, which could also, of course, there could be other factors at play, but in general, great user experience. So we've warmed up now. Let's move on to number 3, canonicals to the homepage. We have a bunch of URLs on the left. You can see they're all valid URLs, different URLs of this website, and they all have a canonical tag to the homepage. Now, quick sidestep, what is a canonical tag? Canonical tag, basically, if you have a couple of URLs with the same content on them, it tells search engines which one to index, so which is the main or preferred version of this content. So for example, in Shopify, if you have a product like this purple one in the middle, and you'd like it indexed, and the other 2 URLs are the same content, but they point via a canonical tag to your preferred product, and the purple URL itself uses a self-referencing canonical. So in this case, we have that many URLs and many more with each individual content, valid URLs, and they're pointing via canonical to the homepage. They have nothing to do with the homepage. They're not duplicate content of the homepage, so it makes no sense to do that. Those URLs will have a really hard time to get indexed, and even if you don't want them indexed, a canonical is not the correct solution here. So what had happened? In this case, it was in Rank Math plugin that the canonical was set, but that is not the plugin's fault. It was a deliberate action by someone in the huge company that did that, and we couldn't figure out why. But as you can see, human error is always a thing, and if you ask SEOs and they do a quick crawl of your website, they're going to see that and can fix that. And after the fix, you can see how the visibility pretty much skyrocketed. So search engines do care about canonicals, and so should you. Number 2, indexing both staging and live environment. I asked a bunch of my SEO friends what their worst SEO mistakes that they ever seen on WordPress was, and most of them said this. All of them said this. So this is my friend Corina, who said exactly the same thing. And what does it do to your website? Well, it's basically game over, right? If you're having both a staging site and a live website indexed, you're basically cannibalizing yourself. You're sending 2 URLs against each other into the fight with nothing to win. You might even go live with something that you didn't intend, that you wanted to keep on staging, or with some tests that you did. So this is definitely not what you want to do. And how do we solve this? Well, this is the German screenshot, but it's the same for English. It's under settings and reading. You have this little box that you can tick to discourage search engines to index the site. And if you can also do this on many hostings or hosting sites, especially if you have staging on the subdomain, for example. So in any case, if you have this in your checklist of when a page goes live or a page goes on staging, then this should be seen. And if not, a little crawl, again, would solve the issue. And also, my friend Dani said once when she opened the staging for indexing, just within 24 hours, Googlebot had already crawled and indexed the page. So it can go really, really fast if you miss this tiny little checkbox. Number 1. The worst one for me was a global no index. So we're technically telling search engines, we don't want nothing to do with you. We don't want to show up organically. We don't want to play with other websites in the SERP playground. That was that. And the funny thing is, this wasn't detected for years. There was years, I kid you not, years of failing or non-existent organic visibility. And again, what was the problem? You already know this. There was this setting, but also the no-index tag, you can set it in Yoast, you can set it in rank math, you can hard-code it, so it can appear in a lot of places. And again, we didn't know why it happened, but it had happened. And a simple crawl by an SEO would have detected that. This, of course, is extreme game over. This page wasn't great in organic visibility ever, but then it got grounded and it didn't come up ever again. It had like a little wavy thing recently, which brings me to an honorable mention, why it didn't go back into full organic visibility, hreflang tags. Managing multi-regional or multilingual content. Hreflang tags, again, are a little tag in the head section of the HTML, and they're basically telling search engines, well, I'm an English version of a page, and I also exist in Italian. And the Italian page says I'm Italian, and I also exist in English. So no cannibalization, no duplicate content there. It's just 2 sides of the same coin. Looks like this in the code. There's also an X default. If a user isn't specified German or English speaker, then they get the default. And what had happened on this particular page was they had a language drop-down, which was perfectly fine with the hreflang tags, but within the same language drop-down, they had a Google Translate little toggle bar. So you were on the English page, translating it to Spanish again, which turned the content Spanish, which also turned the title tag Spanish, while still having the English hreflang tag. So it was a mess. It still is a mess. How can it be avoided? Hreflang tags in general can be really, really tricky, and I've managed sites where I had to go every 2-3 months to check hreflang tags just because they would mess up. We currently don't have really a better system for search engines, so what you can do is just go to these tools and make sure you check your hreflang tags or have your SEO check those hreflang tags. If you take one thing from today's talk, then it's really just talk to your SEO, let them do their thing. Also, if you're working on a site and you don't think it has to do with SEO, it might just still have to do with SEO. And that's it. Thank you.